Hello, my fellow ambitious girlies. Before we get into this episode, I just want to preface exactly who this episode is for. If you're a girl and you know that you have so much more that you want to get out of this life, not just 9 to 5, you want to build something, you want to create something, you want to build a world that feels like yours, you are in the right place. This is exactly who this episode is for. And I will say this is a slightly different topic to what I usually talk about, but I just think that I find it so interesting and I'm really learning so much in this space, especially around content creation and personal branding. I couldn't not share it. I just think it's so exciting and so important. And I feel really inspired by this kind of content. I feel really motivated by this kind of content, and I just feel empowered, I suppose, to go and make a difference in the world. And so if that is you and you want to be building a personal brand and your content and everything, this is going to be such an exciting episode for you. I do want to preface though that I'm not an expert. I am still learning. I have been doing content creation for about a year and a half, and I have gained over 97,000 followers in less than 10 months and started a business and done some cool stuff from it. But again, I'm still learning. This is actually, I think, one of the first times I'm ever sharing content strategy or content advice, anything like that. And I will be doing that more as I learn more. But I just want you to understand that I'm not an expert. I don't really know what I'm talking about. And I don't think that anyone in content really does, because it changes so much. And what I'm really trying to do with this is actually distill it down to the core principles of human psychology and understanding what are the lasting things that like creators with longevity have that creators that just blow up and disappear don't have. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really easy to follow a trend or do a certain viral post and blow up from that. I don't want that, and I don't want that for you either. And so I'm actually going to drive today to my news agency to pick up a notebook, and I'm going to label that notebook the Creator CEO Handbook. And in that, I am going to be writing down all of the lessons I know from everything from content creation, personal branding, selling online, and just building an empire around something that you really care about, because that is really important to me. And I really care about making sure that these techniques work, because essentially what that will be eventually, and yes, I'll be sharing this through my social media, like I don't want to gatekeep, but that will eventually be a course in tier 2 of my business Elevate. So currently tier 2 isn't launched, but if you are an ambitious girly and you do want to be building your personal brand and growing followers and getting clients, hop in tier 1, because when tier 2 launches, you will then get automatically upgraded to that and you'll be able to save the price of tier 2. So definitely would recommend, but I really just want to do this really well and to a very high quality, because I personally have seen so many hacks and tips in content creation, which I think can be helpful from time to time, but in order for things to actually last and have longevity, I think it's really important to distill it to those things. And that's sort of a bit what I'm talking about in this episode, but this is really the quote unquote strategy that no one actually bothers to mention, I don't think. Well, I haven't really heard anyone talk about it before. So again, I'm not an expert, I'm just sharing what I know, and this has worked for me, and I do think it would work for you as well, but I can't guarantee your results. I can't guarantee you'll actually do what I say in this episode. So I really hope that it does help, and if it does help you, I don't know if I'm actually going to post this on my podcast yet. If it is on my podcast, give this podcast a rating. It would mean the world to me. Otherwise, if it's just on YouTube, then like, subscribe, all of that jazz, and leave a comment down below. Tell me something you found interesting about this podcast, and tell me something that you would like to learn more, because I'm really just want to adapt to what you guys need, because I think that's so important, and I just want to be building this for you. And I actually mentioned this in my previous episode, which I think that people don't talk about enough, especially content creators. But the fact is, I really want to be able to build a life that I really love and enjoy living. And what I'm doing at the moment, through this content and my brand and my business, I am so in love with it. And I've been so in love with just how much impact I've been able to have on other people's lives. And I really just want to do this forever. And so if I can monetize really well, then I get the green light to be able to do it forever. And then down the track, I can move in with my boyfriend, get an apartment, get 2 rescue cats, and then eventually be able to take care of my mom, which is the ultimate goal. And so I just want to put that out there, because yes, I want to do this in a way that really, really has a positive impact on the world. But I think that we often as content creators get really shy of that sort of ulterior motive. But in a way, it's like, I do have such a strong belief that when good people have money, the world gets better. Yes, some people with money do bad things with it. I am very aware of that. But I do think that when people have money and it is in their right hands, I think it can be just a beautiful thing in the world. And I really want to do things that just have such an impact that is so much bigger than myself. And to do that, I need money. And I think we all want to have more money. And so yeah, it's kind of scary to say that out loud, but I hope that that resonates with some of you guys. And I hope that you can feel less ashamed of that, because I think it is important as humans. We need it to survive, and we need to have a comfortable life. So I just want to put that out there before we go forwards. But now I will get into the actual content, because I feel like I've been rambling for officially 6 minutes now. So let's get into it. So the one strategy that nobody in content creation seems to mention is that your strategy is only half of the equation. Now, what I mean by this is that there are plenty of people, and I know this because I have done this myself, who will buy every course, try every guide, every playbook, every posting strategy, every posting schedule, every possible hook, and nothing will work for them. Whereas there'll be other people that will try one or two things and they just blow up and they just go so far. And the difference between them is not the strategy. That is not the common denominator. The common denominator is them and their ability to stick with something and the energy that they bring to it. Because think about it, if I gave you the perfect strategy right now on a silver platter, but you didn't have the discipline to actually follow through with it, you didn't have the consistency to do it day in, day out, and you didn't have the energy and the belief that it would actually work, it won't work for you. Whereas I could give you any strategy, and if you had those skills, it would work for you. And I think that really is, I think, what differentiates a lot of these successful creators from the ones that are less successful, because information is so freely available. It is so easy to just search up like good hooks to use, or like how to yada yada, and you can find it. But very rarely do people actually work on the skills of discipline and consistency and their energy and nervous system regulation, all of the stuff that is important, especially when things aren't going your way. Because imagine when you get hate comments, one person might completely crumble and not post for months, whereas another person can deal with that reasonably okay and get on with it. Which person do you think is going to be more successful down the track? Or two people might use the exact same posting schedule and posting strategy and post the exact same thing for a week, but one person, well, they both don't see results straight away, but one person gives up because they think it's not happening fast enough, and the other person decides, okay, no, this is just in the start, I'm going to keep going. Which one do you think will succeed more? I think we tend to get so much more caught up in the strategy side of things because it is more tangible and it's probably more exciting and fun, and we can understand it better because it's just easier to understand. Whereas these soft skills, I think we often overlook. And that was why when I was building my business, I was really intentional about making sure that tier one, that is the soft skills. Like that is the confidence, the discipline, the self-trust, the being able to follow through and not break your own promises, which, by the way, if you're listening to this and you know that you are meant for more, but you feel like you just can't keep your word and actually make things happen, Elevate is the place for you. I will be in there literally helping you out every single week, and you will not, you can't fail. Like all the goals in there, making sure that you actually keep your word and you're going to hold yourself accountable. But I was really intentional about making sure that tier one is where you learn all of that. And then you don't really learn the content creation or the personal branding or anything like that until tier two. I mean, yes, you can join tier two just straight off the bat, but even then you still have to go through the base training to be able to get to that. And so I think a lot of people will try and skip that and just go straight to the juice and cut straight to the things that are more exciting. But really, unless you actually have the capacity to hold that, and especially in terms of like your identity and your capacity to bring in more than you currently have, it's not going to work. It just won't. And I think for a long time, I can say this because for a very long time, I was in that boat as well, where I was trying every strategy, I was buying every course. And I do want to say as well that there is nothing wrong with trying different strategies. I'm all for trying all these different things and experimenting, but I really was overlooking my own capacity and what I was actually doing and like the intentions that I had behind it. And that was because now potentially I'm using like less effective strategies, quote unquote, but I feel as though I have such a stronger conviction in my ability to succeed because I've been working on my confidence and my self-belief and all the things that are inherently under the surface, the foundations of what is important in succeeding in content creation. So ultimately, if I was to sum it all up, it wouldn't be strategy equals success. It would be strategy plus your energy, plus your regulation, plus your capacity, plus your discipline, plus your mindset, plus your identity. That is your success. And I think if you were to overlook every part of that equation other than strategy, you can't succeed. Like it doesn't matter how perfect the strategy is. If that's all you're following, it's just really difficult to succeed. It's sort of like how two people could start a dance class at the exact same time and have the exact same teacher taking the exact same lessons per week, but one person will succeed a lot more than the other despite having the same amount of natural talent. But one person is practicing when they get home. One person has the discipline to actually do their conditioning exercises. One person it has the mindset to withstand, failing and messing up in class. That person's going to go so much further than the person that just cruises and lets every little thing bother them and get them down. I also think that a lot of us tend to sacrifice having fun and sort of see that as the opposite of strategy, but oh my goodness. And I mentioned this in the last episode that I just recorded. Fun is the strategy. The more fun you have, the more you'll receive, and your audience can feel it. Your audience can feel when you are having fun and just enjoying your time on camera rather than trying to map everything out really strategically and just try to make sure that you've hit all the key points and like whatever. People can feel when you're literally just having fun, and it's amazing and it's infectious and it's magnetic, and people want to be in your world because they know that when they're in your world they feel good, and when people feel good they want to be around it more. So create that kind of energy purely by having fun. Like, fun is the strategy, and I don't think there's any career that it matters more than in content creation, because you are the direct link between your brand and your audience. It is your energy that is the bridge. Now, I really wanted to be talking about this more, but my voice is getting quite tired and I kind of losing my voice. So I want you to let me know in the comments, what other stuff do you want to learn about in this space? I really do want to be aware that I'm not going to be like teaching the random trends and stuff. That's not really what I'm about. I want to be talking about the mindset and the strategy and the fundamental core principles of content creation and branding. So if you have any requests for episodes in any of that kind of sphere, let me know in the comments and I will 100% consider and make an episode on it if it is relevant. But again, if you are interested in building a personal brand and creating a life that is so much bigger and more aligned with you than you ever had thought possible, check out the link for Elevate in the description and I would love to see it in there. So yeah, I hope you had the most amazing day and I can't wait to read your comments and see like what you want from what I share. But I believe in you, know that, and you've got this, and you're going to go so far. I believe in you. You got this. Okay, have an awesome day.